Friends, it's Amy at Doki Forest. It's so great to see you guys again. I was gone for a little bit there with February break. Got lost in the forest a little bit, but now I am back. And I'm getting back into Junk Journal January. January? Yes, January. I'm on day 27, which is Earth Tones. So I'm almost done. My goal was to be done by the end of February, but seeing as it's the end of February, I now have a new goal of maybe just being done by Friday of this week. So it'll be March, but it's still going to be an accomplishment to finish this and look back and see what I've done. So it's always kind of nice when you finish a goal or a project or that doesn't sound fun, but some sort of, I'll say, creative endeavor. So for this page, I decided I wanted to draw an elf, and I wanted to have a cottagecore kind of feeling, so I'm trying to give her a floppy straw hat, and that was a challenge. I have never drawn a floppy straw hat before, so I had to keep drawing and erasing, trying to get, especially, like right there where it kind of flops back. And then at the bottom where it kind of does the same thing. So I was trying to really figure out how to get that to look right. And at first, I think you probably saw I did draw this character with a larger pointy ear because I was thinking of making it a fox character at first, but I changed to an elf. I thought I would just do sort of a nature elf, a forest elf, and I thought that would work with the earth tone vibe. A fox would work too, of course, a fox girl or boy, but I just felt like drawing an elf. I think I was thinking of greens, so I wanted to go kind of that route this time. And so I'm just finishing up the details. I'm trying to give her, some lace and some puffy sleeves and some things like that that kind of give that cottagecore vibe. And then when I went to use the ink, instead of using black like I usually do, I wanted to try out these sepia tone pens, and I'm just hoping they're waterproof. I think it said water resistant. So I did a little test on the side and it seemed okay. But now I'm going to use them on my big project here and see. Hopefully they'll survive the water. But yeah, I figured where it was earth tones, I would use the sepia tone pen just to kind of stick with my color choice. I wanted to do was, pretty much just yellows, browns, and greens. And I do like how this gives like a nice softer look to the piece instead of the black. Of course, I love black pen, but I discovered I really like this sepia brown pen as well. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've enjoyed February. Can you believe it's almost over? This is it. I feel like time just flies by so fast. And it's snowing again where I am. So I don't know how the weather is where you are, depending on where you are in the world. But yeah, we're getting some more snow. It's very light, but it is supposed to snow all day. And the kids have a snow day today, so they're home again. So I'm thinking maybe I can get some help with Trash Tuesday today. I can get someone on board to do it with me, but we'll see. So here come the watercolors. And of course, earth tones, as I said, so I'm sticking with the same limited palette, and even in my limited palette I'm not really using like a bunch of different tone yellows or different variations of brown. I mean, a little bit, but it's pretty much the same 3 colors, and then I'm just either combining them together or either adding more water or less water. So it's very limited. I'm not using a big range of greens or anything like that. And that's different for me because I usually use all the colors. I'm usually trying to throw everything on there. I like all my rainbow colors. I like all my earth tones. I like everything. So usually even if I start off thinking I'm just going to use a couple colors, it's actually really hard for me. But I really loved just working with these earth tones. In fact, I'm working on another piece that I'll post tomorrow for Watercolor Wednesday. So I made 2 pieces using these earth tones, and I don't know if I'm done yet. I might keep going. What do you guys like to do? Do you like to use every color on the palette? Do you like to just use a couple? Do you just mix it up? I just find that I don't know. I see a palette and I just want to use all the colors most of the time. So after the yellow on the hat dried, I am now adding some, some texture there so the hat looks like it's a straw hat. It's very light, but it's just a little something. And then trying to make those sleeves look like they're poofy at the top. So just adding a little bit there and some shading. So as each layer just sort of dries, I go back in and add a little bit more shading or texture or whatever I feel like it needs. There's no right or wrong. It's just whatever your eye looks at and thinks, maybe a little something there. And the lace is green lace. I was going to leave it white, but then I thought, no, I don't think I want to have anything white except like the whites of her eyes and the shiny spots. Everything else, I decided I did want to just go with these earth tones and just go all in on it. And I'm going to give her some green lips. Now, is that lipstick? Or are those her natural lips? Is that the natural lip color? I don't know. I'm thinking that's just the way they are. So she is done and dry, and now I decided I would like to add some fiddlehead ferns. And you might notice a mistake I did, because instead of grabbing my sepia pen, I automatically grabbed my black pen, and I didn't even notice that I had done this until I went to scan the piece, and then I noticed how much lighter she was, and I said, what the heck happened there? Oh, whoops. And then I decided she needed a little magical furry buddy, so I'm drawing this little creature. And this little guy is based on a little Australian animal called and forgive me, I may say this wrong, I probably will, quokka. It's the happiest animal in the world because it always looks like it's smiling, and it's super cute. So I guess these are kind of like the quokkas you might find in Doki Forest, where they have sprouted wings. It's a new variation. But yeah, they're really cute. They're related to kangaroos and wallabies, I believe. And they always look like they're smiling. So they're super cute. Look them up if you can, because you are gonna just love this little guy. And to my Australian friends, let me know if you've ever seen one in real life. Okay, so now we are on to the watercolor, and I forgot to mention, but yeah, it looked like those sepia pens did hold up against the watercolor before, so whew, thank goodness. And on these ones, of course, the black pen I knew would hold up, except for my poor little creature's eye. I did smudge it a little bit, but I will do my best to kind of fix it and blend it in. That's just because I didn't let it dry quite long enough before I went in there, but don't give up. You can work with it. We can work with it. We'll make it blend in as best as we can. And just giving some little dark areas on this little critter, just kind of like his real life counterpart, where they also do have kind of like a darker muzzle, darker paws. And the wings I would normally paint, some kind of a blue or something like that, but because I'm keeping it within the certain range here, as I mentioned, I made them a greenish kind of color. So I have now cut everything out, and as I said, I realized when I scanned this piece that I had used the black ink, so I did go over it with the sepia ink, and it toned down the black a little bit, but you can still definitely tell the lines are darker. I almost kind of like it because I'm thinking that it sort of makes the elf look like she's more faded into the background, maybe more secretive, maybe not quite showing herself, maybe she's just looking to see who's coming, but she's not sure if it's safe to emerge from the forest yet, from the woods. So that's what I'm telling myself. The little creature is out and about, right in front there, ready to greet you. And there's my heart rock, which I found outside. It was a heart shape. I couldn't believe it, just sitting there on the ground. So had to bring that home, of course. And then just a little white pen, just to bring out some details, some little fur details. But I noticed it didn't quite show up as much as I was hoping. I don't know if it's because the tones were lighter on this piece, but so I just use it here and there a little bit, but not too much. I also didn't want to overdo it. Sometimes I go nuts with the white gel pen, but for this piece, I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to just remain natural, I guess I'll say. Okay, and here is the finished piece. I've got my cottagecore elf girl. She's got her little magical buddy there, and they're both amongst the forest and the fiddlehead ferns. Thanks so much for coming by today. I hope you have a wonderful creative day, or maybe a restful day, whatever you need, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.